Hello and welcome to another See You Next Time. Today we'll be talking about Milos Kerkez. I know a bit slow. It's been joined a while, but we haven't had a chance yet. And with me today is the man with more endorsements than any footballer. It is Ralph Lauren's clothes hanger himself, Ed86, the look. Oh my God, I've made a complete hatch of this one. Ed86, the luck ender, Seamus O'Deeps. How are you, mate? Hey, that was terrible. Talk about fumbling the ball badly there. It was like watching Onana trying to play.
I am good. I am well. Something seems to be wrong with you. You can't speak properly. You can't even give a great
It's the excitement of
opening
having
line.
you on again with your Ralph Lauren endorsement and all that. You're a big star now. It's like it's exciting getting to talk to you all the time. I thought now you're big time. We might not be able to hold on to you, but you're still appearing with us. It's a big thing. I feel like I
I'm all
should be a bit fanboyish now, shouldn't I?
I am all you got. I am all you have. I
I
am the
know.
best.
Billy didn't even
And the
turn up.
worst you can do.
The best we've got and the worst we could possibly do. You're right. That's very true. That is sums you up exactly. Oh my God. I mean,
So
Ralph Lauren
speaking of best you
is
can,
Ralph Lauren even alive? I was just going to say, Ralph Lauren will be turning in his grave right now, seeing you wearing his gear. Say, for fuck's sake, I
you
did
have
it supposed to be fashionable. Please, God, why?
Mr. Tris, you have to try and be online at least for the first 5 minutes. Come on. For once in our life, we should be able to do that. And this should be full disclosure to everyone. I had no idea who we were gonna do today.
Yeah, that is.
And
There's a
and
bit of
an
an issue.
even
We
better thing,
planned a different podcast.
no, not as planned. I genuinely didn't know which player we were doing because we were talking about two or three different
Yeah,
scenarios, and I was not voting on anything. So I genuinely had no idea who we were covering. I asked, are we doing the pod? The
yeah.
answer was yes. I didn't ask who. And then 5 minutes ago, it's again like, okay, we'll take Kirk's last minute. So
Yeah,
if
well,
you just derailing it, it may be on purpose for the first time. Every other podcast we derail it because that's our nature. Today we will derail it because that
yeah.
might be just feeling dark.
To be fair, I thought Kerkez would be easy to do because we pretty much, we've talked quite a bit about left backs and that at Liverpool between us, like off air. So that's why I thought we'd go with him rather than one of the others. We got quite a few. Wanted to save Gyökeres obviously for when Billy's on because Everton nearly signed him, and it'd be good for him to talk about it. How excited he is to finally see him in the Premier League after they missed out and stuff, and hopefully maybe even get Ed 14 on for that one, because I'm sure he's probably got gone through a box of Kleenex tonight already, thinking about Gyökeres scoring up front for them at last. Actually, might have a chance of winning something. Chance. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Kirkez we're doing. We've not prepped for it because we were all preparing and prepping for Gyökeres and actually doing research for once. I actually did do research, but I prepped it properly, written an
No,
intro, everything. I was all ready to go, and then Billy just doesn't turn up. It's like, now what do we do?
no, I've done whatever little I do on Gyökeres a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago. Like the
Yeah,
scoring details. I didn't do that as well. Like I know what I know. I know for sure I ain't gonna find anything new on him because we as in United were linked with
hmm.
him on and off.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, no, see, that's the other reason I wanted to do Jokeres, because I thought it'd be interesting talking to you with, like, obviously the Amarin. Anyway, we need to move on. We're not talking about him. We're not doing Jokeres. That's who we're not doing, despite 3/4 of the podcast so far being actually on him. Right, so back to the actual subject, because obviously it's been an exciting time at Liverpool, so we're struggling to get them more. In fact, this season's been this transfer window's been absolutely insane. I thought when we started it, we were thinking do like a pod on each player, as they transfer, because there won't be that many. It won't be that. It's never that. There's players, but most of them aren't that interesting enough that you're going to do a podcast on them. You know what I mean? There's not enough to talk about. So yeah, so suddenly it's turned into like there's 400 players that we've got a backlog of names to get through that we're not going to get all of them done. We're just going to cherry pick a few of them, I think, from now on. But yeah, anyway,
And
Kirk.
also, especially the volume of transfers that's already been done before the preseason has officially started.
Hmm. It's been so big. I mean, can you imagine what it's going to be like when there's games going on as well and there's transfers going on? We're going to be absolutely off our feet, I think, this summer. Really busy.
Yeah,
The
but
sites have been
and
insane.
I was gonna say, like I'm sure some of the people also at first thought the same, like, oh, it's because of the club World Cup, the clubs involved there. But even the clubs that had nothing to do with it, like Liverpool, a lot of player movements, Arsenal, a lot of
Mm.
player movements. It's quite
Man,
atypical, and
Man
I
United
don't know.
didn't qualify, did they? Just wondering.
Yeah, but
What,
it's
twice? They've
only two
qualified
players.
twice
I mean,
before? Or just
no, it's
missed out
only
by
two
two
players.
places?
Uh, Anyways, let's forget about Manchester
Kerkez.
United.
Yeah. Milos
Let's get
Kerkez.
back to the Manchester United supporters.
I'm actually really excited about this signing, especially with obviously the right fullback's going to be going attacking because you've got Conor Bradley and um, Frimpong as the two
Frimpong.
options now, the main options. So they're not going to be inverting. That's obviously going to be out because Kerkez also is not going to be inverting. It's going to be back to the way I like to watch the fullbacks play. They're going to be bombing down the flanks, and Kerkez is probably the best left back around in the English league. I mean, last season he was probably the best left back around, wasn't he? He was. There are weaknesses to his game. Defensively, he's brilliant one-on-one, but I'm not so sure he's that good as in an overall defensive capacity. But you put him one-on-one, fantastic. Bit like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he can be a bit all over the place positionally. But if he's just got a man up against it, if he's in a block, you're holding a line. If you see what I mean, he can be a bit all over the place. But if he's just up against a winger running at him, I've got no worries about him. I think he's excellent one-on-one defender, just not as perfect. He's a bit off positionally. He's a bit off. But then we've had Andy Robertson, who's for years, whose positional sense is not the best. He just gets up and down so brilliantly, but defensively, I mean, he's always 2 yards too deep when you trying to hold a line. If he's back in the line, he's drops off too early and stuff like that. So I think we can cope with Kirkez not being perfect defensively, but going forward, I mean, he's exciting. He's one of those. He's really enjoyable to watch. Though I do have fears he's always gone down with cramp every time I've watched him towards the end of the game. My only question is, do you think that's tiredness because he does he does put some legwork in, or do you think that's down to just them playing, doing a bit of time wasting? And you've vanished. We've just got mountains. Oh, no, you're back.
No. I'm not vanished. I'm still here. Still here.
Yeah. Do you think he's actually got, do you think he actually does really go down with cramp all the time because of the amount of running he does? Because he does cover insane amounts of ground. Or do you think he is just time wasting?
Now, obviously, the first thing I would like to allude to is that I'm no expert on Bournemouth.
Hmm.
I've not watched
You
a
could have
lot of
just
them.
said no expert on anything, really. You could swap Bournemouth for any word you wanted to put there. We would agree. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but like the second part is I've seen him also run almost from his
Hmm.
penalty box to the opponent's
Yeah.
penalty box in like 10-15 seconds to score or to contribute in the attacking phase, even in the 90th minute. So can't just be pure fitness issues. Maybe it's a bit of gamesmanship. Maybe sometimes you as a player you maybe have a little bit more work to do, and then sometimes you have less work to do. Also, sometimes maybe you're playing in a hotter condition, and sometimes it's a bit less wild. So it's a thing. But if it is any kind of an issue, then it is not going to get solved at Liverpool when he's playing almost 2 games through a week throughout the season.
Do you think he'll
I'm
be?
sure the fitness.
Do you think he'll not get rotated? I think he'll get rotated because that's the way slot works. He does rotate fullbacks.
I think it is possible, but it's also a new setting and surrounding for him. It is very likely that he gets phased into the team slowly instead of just getting thrown straight into it and then like here you go, you have the 30 games.
Did you know? By the way, did you know? It's just to point something out to you. I thought you might be interested in. Did you see who was actually playing right back against Stoke in the game we played Stoke at the first half?
No,
Wasn't
I
Bradley?
didn't know that. Maybe
Bradley didn't play. Frimpong played the second half. Do you know who played the first half at right back?
Kerkez.
No other
Oh,
guess.
Somerslide.
Yeah.
I know it was.
Yeah, I thought you'd be interested in that because I know you have a bit of a hard on for him. He's got a man crush on Shabazz.
I don't think. I don't think
I
it
think
is a
that's why you
secret on the
like doing the
podcast.
pods
Anyway,
because obviously me and Shabazz look so alike. It's like peas in a pod, isn't it? I think that's why you come on here.
I don't think Somerslide. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I don't think uh, it's. I don't think it's a viable solution, but maybe in a in-game situation when you're chasing the game, or maybe sometimes you run out of substitutes or whatever. Like it is something to have on your obviously, but I
I,
don't
I,
think it's viable.
I think it was just a case of getting
Anyways,
him minutes in his legs ready, in pre-season. I think that's all it was, really. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think it's intended to be
Just
a.
in simple words.
Yeah.
In simpler words, let's not read too much into a
Yeah.
preseason
No, it
friendly
was just
that
very
too.
interesting to see. Especially as it was like an absolute pasting. They performed really well, which is quite worrying for me. I worry when we do too well in pre-season because I remember in the 80s and that, you'd read the match reports and that, and the pre-season reports, and we were always awful. We were terrible. And then it had come to the proper season, and after our first few games, we weren't that good either. But as the season went on, you just gradually, it just like turned up, and they just become a wrecking machine like after the first few 6 games or so. Oh, right?
Uh,
What do you do with the other left backs now? Kerkez is obviously in. He's first choice. There's no. I don't think there's an argument about it. I think he's definitely first choice.
he's a long term. Yeah, he's a long term left back.
Yeah, but you're Andy Robertson. What do you do with him? He's great
Well,
personality to have
yeah,
around the club.
you have two
He's
questions. You have two questions because ultimately, if you're looking at a backup, then you have one guy who's done well as a backup, Simicast,
hmm,
who also is, by all accounts, a very good lad to have around in this squad.
yeah,
And
he's
then you have Andy Robertson,
mad as a much. Yeah,
who, yeah, Andy Robertson, you could say the same thing. Excellent guy to have in this squad, a
yeah,
big presence in this squad.
yeah.
So I don't think I don't think you can base your choice on that. The two things you should consider when you're making the decision as a ruthless CEO, sporting director, transfer guru, whatever it is A, how much money are they on? B, how much money can you get in? C, how long is the contract left? And D, what is your fitness and longevity prospects? You can never be sure on that. It's it's almost always a luck of the draw because tomorrow in a preseason game someone can go
Yeah, fair
crunching in
point.
and then all other things they just go down the go down the drain, and you have a completely new outlook. But as if you are asking me to put on my sporting director hat, then that's the four things I would consider
Yeah,
because
go on, put on your sporting
the
director hat.
next thing
Where
I
is it?
would
Is it
no,
Ralph
because the
Lauren
next thing I
or who's it sponsored by? Come on, who's it sponsored by? This one. You've obviously got one prepared.
maybe
This
that
is
is why
obviously
there is a
something.
hat.
You've obviously got something prepared. That's why you said it. You've been waiting for the chance. I bet you've probably got a stack of hats there, and it's like, right, this one's sponsored by so and so's a sporting director. This one's a CEO hat. This one is sorry. Carry on.
Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I can get you a hat. I can get you a hat in 2 minutes. Do you want me to finish my
Is
point
it
or
because
get
it's
a
is
hat
it because
first?
it's in the other room and your rooms are so big that it takes you 2 minutes to walk across there?
No, it takes me 1 minute to get it, but it takes me two minutes because I have to switch over the camera to the back and then switch back to the front camera. The green screen doesn't exist just because it is for fun. It exists because I have to try and protect the privacy here. Come on, you
Oh,
have to get this
because
up.
he doesn't
You
want
have,
the
I have
fans
to.
knowing where he lives.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's a
like
bunker somewhere in Houston.
yeah, because that's really something you've got to worry about. Because I can just imagine them all waiting to find out. They're just looking for a clue where we live.
The amount of emails that I'm getting, the mails, the postmen here are overloaded.
Maybe I should maybe I should show people my fucking address, and maybe then I might even get an email. The
No,
only
but
emails I
like
get
the
is you
people,
owe money. Can you pay it? Sorry.
your payment is due.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's all I get. Sorry, go on. Anyway, Mr. Sporting Director Ralph Lauren hat.
No, the next thing you could have considered is non-homegrown quotas, but I'm pretty sure both of them are non-homegrown. Not
Yeah,
Kerkez,
yeah,
Robo and Simcas.
yeah.
So that is something that would cancel out. Ultimately, I think what is pretty evident is Simicas has openly said that he is much more happier being a big part player, playing 20, 30 games
Mm,
every season at Liverpool than he would be playing 35, 40, 50 games anywhere
yeah.
else. So
It
how
just,
can you force someone to move who doesn't want to move?
his agent actually public a few years back when Klopp was still in charge actually came out and said Klopp was trying to force him out of the club and he doesn't want to leave. He's happy. He just wants to stay. And it's again this summer he's rejected all moves, all offers. So yeah, sorry.
I think it was pretty clear. Like I think it was pretty clear the moment he was even linked to Liverpool that
Mm,
he just jumped at the chance to
aye,
be at the club
literally.
and put him. So it's real. Like even United are facing a similar issue. I know the player is gonna get mocked and everything, and he's flopped at United. But Rasmus Holder, like there's always even before he joined, it was pretty clear he was the guy who grew up supporting Man United, and even now when he has had a torrid time and he's been linked to move every second day, something comes up that is very happy at United as a
Mm.
fan. There's nowhere else he'd rather.
Yeah, what's the point in leaving? What are you going to do? You're only going to be miserable elsewhere, thinking about what I could have done if I'd stayed there. Yeah, I can understand it from their point of view.
Like, yeah, like Simicast, if he, let's say he has like 10, 15 goal contributions next season,
Mm,
a Fulham or Palace somewhere else, and then even if I put myself in his position, I would still be like, I wish I got the same time and chances at Liverpool instead, and I wouldn't
mm,
be as happy at what I have, but I'd rather be more sad at what I could have had and what I missed. So
mm.
I am not gonna say negative things about a player who's happy living his dream.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta respect that. I think that's brilliant. The only problem is Robertson's proven equally difficult to move on because the offers he's had, he's not been interested in either. He likes it at Liverpool, wanting to stay, but he's only got 1 year left on his contract. Is the thing.
And I would, as an advisor to Robert, say that if you move to a different club and more likely a different league, a newer league, you might have a longer career.
Hmm.
Like he could genuinely have a few good years in Italy, for example.
Do you know what might help him though? In not being first choice, it might help because, like, a lot of the times you could see over the course of seasons under Klopp, he was running to the ground. You
Is
could see as the season went on, he'd start off up here, his performances would be a level like a 9 out of 10 most weeks. And then as the weeks went on, he'd drop and it'd drop and he'd be seven and then he'd be sixes and fives, 5.5, sixes towards the end, tail end of the season. Where you can see he was just knackered. It wasn't that he was playing badly, as in he was just absolutely out on his feet. You could see he needed a break. So having Kerkez as first choice, or I'm assuming he's going to be fit. I don't see any other possibility, to be honest. So I know he's only going to be playing. He could be just playing a sub role or the odd appearance. It might actually help him. That might prolong his career because he could have that. He can have a bit of a break, get his legs together, and he might, he might be able to play back more like the old Andy Robertson. Because it could just be last year he's awful. He was really struggling. At times he was a liability, but if he's getting on and he's played a lot of football because he was playing all summer for the Scotland team as well. But he's playing throughout. I mean, in the international breaks. What I mean, he's not getting a break there or anything. So it's no wonder he's knackered. Really, at his age.
No, I completely understand. I'm just saying, like, if I am
Mm,
someone advising Robo, I would say, like, there is a genuine chance that you don't get to be a first choice player at Liverpool, but you could have a successful career
mm.
after to a different club. I'm not saying he has to go abroad. He could also have a good
But yeah, no.
finding in Premier League, but
What I'm thinking.
especially for him, like I just think Italy would suit him a lot.
I'm thinking if you're him, probably the best thing for yourself to do, because obviously the best chance he's got of winning trophies, he's got two chances really. He can go to somewhere like Celtic, which would be going home. That's where he started his career, somewhere like that. But they've just signed Kieran Tierney, but obviously he's going to be injured within a week because his biscuit hips. He'll be injured in no time. But so he can go somewhere like that and he'll win trophies, almost certainly, because there's only two teams in Scotland. The chances of him not winning trophies there, or he can stay at Liverpool and win trophies. But he can, or he could just wait it out, wait until January, and see how it's going. And if he's still struggling like he was last season, if it's not working out, he can then look again. And he's not going to be expensive because obviously he's coming into the last 6 months of his contract, or he could sign for the summer, a permanent move in it for the summer, on a free transfer. I mean, it's really on his side. Time's on his side right now, as in he can wait it out. He's got a good chance of winning trophies, staying put.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. For him, it is not like be all and end all summer
Mm,
right now. He can say, let's have one more year, another season.
yeah,
Maybe I can win with three Premier League medals. Maybe I can
exactly.
win
Yeah,
with a couple of Champions Leagues instead
mm,
of just one.
yeah, yeah. One,
He only has one, right?
yes,
Yeah, the Spurs.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's what I mean.
and
It's if you can go out of a bang. Or I
yeah,
mean, there might even be a point where he plays so well because he's only a bit part player. It's worth it, he gets a contract extension offer and he stays on. So for him, I can't see a reason for him to look to move this summer
there's
unless
too many
unless
players.
the offer's absolutely perfect for him.
Yeah, but there's too many players for
Exactly.
Liverpool.
Just the problem's Liverpool's, not the
And
players, though, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Just to add to that, too many players
You
problem
got
is
the
also too
youngsters.
many non-homegrown.
Mm. And there's youngsters who could be playing them positions. There's a few good ones. There's Owen Beck who's got looking like he's going to be sold anyway. But like he could well have
Yeah,
been good option. Then there's Luke Chambers, though he's had a
Luke
bad
Chambers,
injury. He's had a bit of an injury problem. But then Beck suffers a fair bit of injuries. And then there's Scanlon as well. Another decent left back, flying wing. He's a flying machine, that lad. I don't know if you've ever seen him play. My God, he's quick. He reminds me of when Michael Owen was young, and you just watch him and you just thought he just ate the ground up, and no matter who he was up against. I seen him play against Plymouth Argyle, and I'm sure it was a reserve game. He played against Plymouth Argyle, and that was when they had a British strike, and then an actual they had a 100 meter, 200 meter sprinter playing up front. He was a British Olympic sprinter, but he'd retired to take up football. And Michael Owen actually beat him, and I watched him, actually overhaul him when he was chasing after a ball. And you're like thinking, this lad is insanely quick. And Callum Scanlon's not quite at that level, but he's close to it. You know what I mean? He's blisteringly quick. He just seems so quick off the mark, but not sure he's good enough in any other aspect of the game. Unfortunately, he's got good technique in that, but I'm not sure he's got it here. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem to have, but he's only young, so he could learn.
and
But what
also
he
like we're
needs
talking about
is a chance to
third
play.
choice. And we're talking about third choice left back,
Mm,
not your first choice, not even your backup.
yeah,
Like, you'd rather that be someone covering from an academy than
exactly.
someone who somewhere around 100K a week.
Yeah, because Simicast is on what 75K. Robbo's on I think it's 130, 140K a week. That's a lot of money.
That's not,
That's 200K
yeah,
gone a week.
for one position. It's
Yeah, it's not far off 1 million a month just for the backups. They're not, not first choice players. That's a lot of money to be going out of the club. And unfortunately, I don't see that they're going to be able to do anything about it because I don't think either of them are going to leave. And you can't force them, can
yeah,
you? What can you do?
it is ultimately very hard to force someone who is being very professional as well. Like
Mhm.
it's if they are being completely unprofessional,
10 minutes.
causing disharmony and all those things, then maybe you have room to force someone out. But when they are being professional as a club, you
Mhm.
also have to be professional and respect their decisions and choices
And with Robbo, I think you've got to be respectful because of all he's done for the club. For me, I think
and
he's
legacy.
you do what you want to do anyway. I wouldn't be even if he had 5 years left on his contract. The right offer, the right team came in for him. I'd be old school about it, like they used to do, where they used to say, "You've been such a good servant for us. This is such a good offer for you. We understand." Like say Celtic had come in for him in the summer rather than going for Tierney because he was a free agent. I just said, just take him on a free if he wants to go. It's up to him. We're not going to force him out. We're happy for him to stay. But if he wants to go because he's been such a good servant and he wants, and it's the move he wants, yeah, we'll let him go on a free. Don't give us any money for him because he's been brilliant. Give it to him. Because say thank you, and if he wants to give it to charity, whatever, it's up to him. But it's just it's our way of saying thanks for your service, lad, because he's been brilliant. Let's be honest. But what he cost as well, one of the best buys in recent years.
And it's also one of the very inspiring stories, I would say, in
Yeah,
modern day football.
I didn't
Someone
think.
who was written up, even in Scotland,
Mm,
comes up, toils, just gets his head down. With
working in a shop
it's
and the
not,
side.
it's not, and we have to be like, if we are being very honest and very brutal about it, it's not down to ability as well. Robert didn't
Mm.
become this great because he was gifted or he had some extraordinary talent. It's sheer will determination, hard work.
Yeah.
That's the kind of story you tell. It's
Yeah.
like from nothing and nowhere to the absolute top end of game. Mostly because he wanted to do it. He gave it his all every time he stepped foot on the grass, and
Well,
that's really nice to see.
when that
Achieve
fella,
like that.
whose name I've completely forgotten, did the data fella that did all the, is it Graham? I forget. Oh God, my mind's gone mad. And I only watched it again last night to remind myself about it. He was talking about the signings under Klopp, Salah signing stuff like that, and how they. But he was saying about Robertson, even they didn't expect him to be that good. In fact, they weren't even sure he was the right. They weren't sure he was good enough, but he was the best option available. That's why they went for him, and they were like,
Yeah,
he needs to
he's a
improve a
cheap
lot to be
like,
good enough. But it was the best value option around. You know what I mean? There wasn't really a lot.
value
I mean, let's be honest, there
Robertson.
wasn't a lot of good left backs around at the time either. So there wasn't like there was hundreds of them to choose from. But they had a look at him. They wanted someone who was prem ready, and he was the best option out there, and he was good value option. And they just thought we give he's the one. We're not sure. We're not 100% sure, but like Klopp loved the lad when he spoke to, obviously he spoke to him, found out what he's like, because Klopp's big on finding out the character. Absolutely loved him. Yeah, that's the one we'll go for then. Take it, they on, but nobody actually expected him to be that good. Nobody, not. I mean, I certainly didn't. I thought it was I thought it was a mistake. I didn't think he was good enough. I said that. I said that a few times. I'm really not convinced by us. When we moved from I really don't know if he's good enough. He just doesn't seem to have the quality. He's got to love his effort, but he doesn't seem to have quite enough quality. You know what I mean? And he didn't look to have enough quality. He's turned out to be absolutely sensational signing. And it's just that it was nice watching that last night again to remind myself that it's not just me that wasn't sure. It's interesting that they signed him even though they weren't sure. And he's turned out
It's
to
it's
probably be the best of the side. Apart from Salah, obviously, I think he's probably turned out to be the best value for money. I'm talking about wise. Probably the best of the
I think
signings in the Klopp era.
even value for money. I think if you picked Robertson over Salah, it's not outrageous. It's completely understandable and probably even agreeable.
I just think Salah's been so good that it's
But
unfair to
it's not
compare
the
anybody to him. He's on another level.
yeah, but the fact is Salah is an attacker, so you get goals and assist numbers to aid your
Yeah. Oh, look at his
arguments with
assist.
Robert.
Robbo got some assist numbers and all mines.
Pretty good.
Hey,
It's
tell you.
pretty good. But anyways,
Oh, do you
they've
think?
been good, solid servants. It's a podcast for Kerkez. We've not even
Sorry,
discussed
yeah, I was
like
just going to
what
say
is
one thing
let's
about
say
Robbo, quick. Do you think he might stay to just try and beat the fullback assist record in the Premier League? Because
no,
Trent holds it at the moment. But it's only like what is it, one or two more?
I don't know if he cares about it that
No,
much.
not me. But
I would have said
I'd love him to get it.
no. That's the thing. Before Kane moved to Bayern Munich, if you had asked me the same question, like would
Good point.
he, I would have said, of course, like he's so near and he's that
Yeah,
time that what happened. Now with
good
um,
point. Good
Robert,
point. Yeah,
maybe he can move to another Premier League club, like next level, an Aston Villa or even a Newcastle.
true.
That way
True.
also he could be this club
Yeah.
because
Okay. Yeah. Good
Newcastle is
point.
not only Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah. Part exchange for Isaac. I'm not sure how much more they'd have to pay us on top of Isaac, but yeah, that seems like a good idea.
I it's a conversation not meant for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. So anyway, Kerkez,
Like
what do you think? Going to be a
I'm
success?
only seeing when I'm feeling. No, Kirk is my opinion on him is he loves to bomb forward. Defensively, he is a trier,
Hmm.
more of a trier than an excellent player. I think when he is back there defending, gives it his all, but I don't think he's the most complete defender.
Hmm.
If I'm gonna say
Yeah, like me,
that, but
I'm with you on that one. He's good at one-on-ones, but other than that, he's a bit dodgy.
at least he comes across as a character who doesn't struggle out of battle. That is what I would give him.
Mm. Yeah. So
But when I talk about Liverpool, it just ultimately seems like everyone there wants to score instead of wants to
hey, I'm happy
clean
to win
sheet.
6-5 every week. Dalglish did it in the
No, but
80s.
I don't think there's ever been a team that has won the Premier League winning like 5-6,
No,
and
because
five
I was
five
going to
four.
say 87, 88 Dalglish team pretty much was the same, was all about attack. But they didn't have to win because most of the teams just ended up by halfway through the season, teams had just bottled it. They were just too scared of John Barnes and Peter Beardsley and that. And it just ended up, it wasn't really, there were like 5-0 wins, 9-0 wins, stuff like that. Well, that was the next, that was a different season. But you know what I mean? There were teams they just weren't coming out to play because they were just trying to keep the score because they just were so scared of being scored against. They ended up bottling it. And I think that it'll probably be a lot more of that. I think it'll be mostly low blocks we're having to break down, really. Rather than, so it won't be big scores. I don't think it'll be big cricket scores again. I think it'll be 1 or 2 goals will be enough to win it. But we've got the creativity with it and the attacking thrust down the flanks with Kerkez and Primprong, Bradley, Salah, etc. I think we'll be all right. Anyway, we're running out of time. Only got less than a minute left.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be 5-4 all season, but I'm sure there will be a couple of games
Ooh.
where it's like, or at least 2-2 and then you score 4, or maybe you're winning 4-0 and then you lose 4-3, like
Yeah,
different scenario. It doesn't have to be like up and down, up and down. In this sense,
yeah.
like you score one, I score one, I score one. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Like whenever I look at Liverpool this summer, it's a lot of interesting topics and subjects
Mm.
there. And with that, I'd like to say, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, nice finish there. Love the segue. See you next time. Take care, everyone, and thanks for watching.